love lives here.
So here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living and at Centers for Spiritual Living worldwide, we have been working with the theme this year of living everyday wonder. And what that means is really paying attention to our everyday lives and the wondrous things, the awe-inspiring, amazing things that are transpiring for us each and every day, like the tree, leafing out. Beautiful, amazing, wonderful, and enjoying the wonder of something so simple, but yet this is where we find the divine. We find the divine in everyday wonder. And the entire year we are looking at, each month we are taking a different aspect of our lives and we are exploring the theme of everyday wonder within an aspect of our lives. And so for the month of March, we've been looking at the aspect of our lives where we play, where we have a good time, where we laugh and have fun. And so we began the month looking at play itself and defining play in the traditional ways. Remember, we played Twister with the divine. Remember, I was all like tied up like I was all twisted up, right? How we can play Twister with life. We can play games with one another and how we can have fun with the everyday and find joy in the everyday. And then we practiced laughter, and we practiced, I introduced you to the idea of laughter yoga, and Jeannie picked up on it again this morning, which was really wonderful, and shared more laughter this morning. We don't have to have something funny and external to laugh at, right? Life is funny enough as it is. I crack myself up all the time, right? So we don't have to have something external, and we recognize the benefits that we get from just laughing. And the exchange of oxygen and the nutrients and in the air that we breathe, and how much more alive we become, and how it brings us into that present moment, because both play and laughter bring us into the present moment. You can't really experience play, you can't really experience laughter unless we're in the present moment. And guess what? The present moment is where we experience the divine. The divine isn't some far off place or some far off being that exists in the future or exists in the past. The divine is always present, everywhere, always, and we can only access it and experience it when we are present with ourselves, when we are present in the moment, because the divine, spirit, God, the universe, whatever you choose to call it, resides right here, resides right within. It's not some far off thing that we're waiting to experience, when we're on the other side of the grass, right? Below the grass, perhaps, right? It's not something that we're waiting for later on. It's an experience that we can have right here and right now. We don't need to wait for it. We don't need to anticipate it. We don't need to fear it, right? It's right here, right where we are. And an expression of the divine is joy. Joy is an expression of the divine. Love is an expression of the divine. Bliss is an expression of the divine. And if we know that there is only one life, one power, one presence, one infinite, eternal isness, allness, and fullness, and we call this one love, or we call this one joy, and it is all that there is, then guess what? By that very nature, it is what we are too, because all of life, all of creation is a divine emanation, impartation, and manifestation of the one life. Right? So therefore, our truest and highest nature is playful. Our truest and highest nature is joy with jazz hands. Right? Our truest, highest nature is actually fun. It's actually spirit in full, glorious expression, magnificent expression. That is our truest nature. And then last week, we talked about rest and how important rest is, and that rest is also a component of play. That sometimes we get so caught in the busyness of the doingness and, right, that we begin to think that we're living in the future or we're living in the past, and we have to plan, and we schedule our time and we fill it with things or people or activities or, any number of things, and we feel tired as a result. And then it's like, oh, I'll just rest when I'm dead. That was the talk title from last week. I'll just rest when I'm dead. Except, are you going to get rest then either? If you've got your plate full, your schedule is already full, you've already scheduled yourself beyond, right? So again, the only place where we can rest is when we're resting in the moment, in the now moment, when we're bringing ourselves present. So last week, I invited you to find those moments during the week, or even during the day, just to find a little bit of rest where you can take a deep breath. And I called it sloth mode. This week, I was wearing, on all the videos for the week, I was wearing one of my favorite t-shirts. I have 3 of them that have sloths on them. And one says sloth mode on, right? And the other one is sloth mode activated. And then another one says nope. And it has a bunch of sloths hanging off of it and off the word nope. And it says, not going to happen, right? So it's like, and I have those shirts to remind myself, especially on my days off, to remind myself to actually take the day off. To actually you know what? They're going to be there on Sunday. Everything is still going to be there when you get back into the office on Monday. We don't need to do it today. Today is a day for rest. Today is a day for relaxation. Today is a day to recharge and re-energize. So I wear these, they're like my uniforms on Friday and Saturday. Sloth mode on, right? Or nope, not going to happen. Because it serves as a reminder to take the time to rest, to regenerate, to rejuvenate, to re-energize, all the re's. So before we go any further into today's message, I'd like for us to do our focus statement, shall we? All right. So today is about community and laughing in community. So let's do it with some C's today, all right? So let's hear some C's. What are some of the C's? Commitment, compassion, conviction, camaraderie, celebration, courage, charismatic. All right, you ready? Here we go. Chocolate. All right, let's do it with all the chocolate. All right, here we go. We embolden people to live their highest potential through the transformative power of love. Yes, all right. So today it's all about community. Today, what I want to share with you about that word and about what it means to be in spiritual community is when we come together in community, we come together, right, because we have a desire to connect with one another. We have a desire to collaborate with one another. We have a desire to cooperate with one another. And we can do this in a variety of ways. We can do this hanging out with a couple of friends and going someplace, or with our beloved. We can do it online, but we are choosing to participate. We're choosing to show up in community, in spiritual community specifically. And what does that look like? Dr. Dennis Merritt Jones, he is a minister he's a retired minister now. He used to have a center in both here in California, and then he moved to Florida. And he defines spiritual community in this way, that it is a group of beloveds who come together on a regular basis to support one another in experiencing and expressing reverence, mindfulness, and a spiritual lifestyle, a spiritual living. Would you agree with that? That we come together to support each other and to create space for each other and to wrap each other in support and love and lift each other up in experiencing the divine, reverence, and somehow experiencing the divine. How do we do that? Through mindfulness practice, through consciousness, right? Through spiritual practice, through meditation, through visioning, through affirmative prayer. We have these spiritual practices that we practice and that we share together. And then we also support each other in living life from a spiritual place. In other words, living life from a conscious place. Rather than allowing things and always experiencing things happening to us, we recognize that we have agency, we have self-will, and we also have the responsibility for our lives. And so we have the opportunity then to choose how we want to show up. And we also have the opportunity, as we're living from a spiritual place, it's perfect for the theme, living everyday wonder, recognizing the divine sitting right in front of us, as we sang in the opening song, right? Spirit is right in front of me, Spirit's behind me, Spirit's beside me, to the right, to the left. Spirit's all around me, right? That everywhere present is Spirit. When we awaken to it and when we pay attention to it, and we recognize that the highest most God and the innermost God is one. It's inseparable. And so we recognize Spirit, we recognize life, we recognize the divine in our everyday and in our everyday activities. And we support each other in doing that. This is how he defines spiritual community. Would you agree with his definition of spiritual community? We come here looking for connection, right? We come here looking for inspiration or looking to inspire others or looking to be inspired together. We come here to celebrate together. We come here to lift each other up and recognize each other for the beautiful creation, the beautiful manifestation, the beautiful magnificent, glorious expression of the divine that each one is. That's what we're doing when we're living spiritually and why we come together in spiritual community. Would you agree? Yes. So then he goes on to define spiritual community as playful. Fun. Love that. Would you say we're playful? Yes, I would say we're playful. We love having playful activities together. We love being together in social activities and social events, that we are a playful bunch. We're not just all serious. That is not who we are. That there's a playfulness. And then the other piece that he talks about is that we come together in spiritual community to be of service. To be of service to one another and to be of service and in service to a greater whole, to the greater community. And this really falls in alignment with what is our vision for Centers for Spiritual Living? We envision a world that works for everyone in all of creation. It's a high vision. It's a high call. It's a high thing, a high idea to be in service to when we are out in the world expressing our beautiful selves. To be making the world a better place through our consciousness and through our word and through our deed, through our action, through our love, showing up and showing out the power and the presence of the love that we are. This is what we are called to be in service to, or how we are called to be in service, sacred service. Gets me so excited to be part of this community, Riverside Center for Spiritual Living, because we really are a spiritual community. We're a spiritual family that loves to come together and have a good time and be in service and also lift each other up and, be serious when it's time to be serious and to take our study and take our development, our spiritual development seriously, but not to be serious about it. Right? To do it in a fun way, to do it in a real way that's realistic, that is relevant and pertinent to our own individual lives. So us as a community, Riverside Center for Spiritual Living, I want to share with you some really exciting things that are happening and that are coming up here that fit into these beautiful categories, because it's so much fun when we're together, because when we're together, we get to share the love, we get to share the joy in greater and more expansive ways, yes? So the very first one I want to share with you, and so we're going to go back and we're going to look at the reverence and mindfulness and spiritual living. The first one I want to share with you, and I'm very excited about this, is I have been in contact and working with Reverend Sonia Russell and David Walker. And Sonia Russell and David Walker have created an app. It's a mindfulness app for your phone. And they've created this app, and it was based on the research done at NIH, National Institutes of Health, and Spelman College. And these two beloveds have created this app, and they have invited us to be their first community partner. And the app is called Blackfulness. The app is called Blackfulness. The app is designed, let me share with you exactly the way Reverend Sonia and David have put it, that it is culturally relevant mindfulness for stress reduction and healing justice, designed by Black folks for Black folks. And they want to emphasize that it is focused on the Black experience, but it is not exclusionary to the Black experience. So by being their first community partner, here's what all of us receive by being a community partner with these beloveds. You all get the app for free for 1 year. Every single one gets the app for free for 1 year. Yay, right? In addition to that, they do quarterly live trainings. So everybody gets to attend these quarterly live trainings and live content. So also, yay, right? And then they have this really cool shop on blackfulness.com that has these really cool shirts. I've got one on the way. It says mindful badassery. I love it. Is that not appropriate? So they've got this beautiful shop. And so as a community partner, we also receive discounts for their shop. So that is the very first one. I'm so excited. They were able to get the soft launch a little bit earlier, at the very end, actually a month ago today. And so it is out, it is up, it is available. So you can go right now to your app store on your phone, whether it is Google or whether it is Apple, and you can download the app right now. It's called Blackfulness, and it's spelled with 2 L's because it's Blackfulness. And so it is a mindfulness app. So there are daily mindfulness exercises, there are daily reminders that you receive, and then there's also learning opportunities there. So I'm very excited for that. The other thing that is in this category of reverence and mindfulness and spiritual living are our spirit groups. Our spirit groups, the winter session has come to a conclusion, and our spring session starts next month. So beginning next week, registration will be open again for the next term of spirit groups. And now I know some spirit groups have just keep on rolling, which is great too. But there's an opening here for spirit groups. Spirit groups are small groups that meet during the week around a variety of topics. And so it's supporting each other spiritually, it's supporting each other with whatever it is we're going through. And then there's also social activities that are associated with it and service projects. That's part of the spirit group model, is that we come together, support one another, we learn together, and then we go out and we have a blast. We have a great time together, and then we also go and we do service together. So our spirit group, Pride Spirit Group, yesterday we went to Drag Queen Brunch. Hallelujah. It was so much fun. We had a blast yesterday. It was so much fun. So that was our group activity. I know the men's group, you all are going and playing billiards next Saturday. Is that right? This past Saturday. Okay. They just finished this past Saturday, but that's going to be an ongoing thing too, right? And Green Faith and some of the others went to dinner at Monarch. So there's this opportunity for these social events. And then Green Faith also just did their service project. Their service project was the divestment workshop, which was wonderful and informative as well. So there's these opportunities coming up for you as well. So make sure that you are paying attention to that on the website. So those are a couple of the ways we show up in reverence and mindfulness and spiritual living. These are ways that we support each other in this way. And then playfulness, right? So I want to let you know that the picnic is back. Frank, was that a big enough applause for that? I didn't think so. All right, so let's try that again. The picnic is back. So it's been 2 years since we've been able to have the Memorial Day weekend picnic. So it'll be Memorial Day weekend on the 29th. It'll be in the grassy area down below as it has been in the past. The men are looking for volunteers to help support this as usual. So make sure you see Frank. He's sitting right there. Make sure you see Frank and let him know how you can support the picnic this year. So yes to the picnic. All right. And then the other big thing that's playful and fun, on May 21st, we are having the Spirit of Art, celebrating local artists or celebrating community artists. It's going to be here in Johnson Hall, and it's going to be an auction and live performances. So we are inviting all of you. You're the first ones to find out about this wonderful event that's happening that we are sponsoring and that we've been working on putting together. And so we invite you, if you are an artist in our community, we invite you to contribute art, whether it's your own art, or if you're a collector, because some of us stick figure, maybe all, but I've got lots of art that I've collected that maybe I don't have space for in my home or something. So we are accepting art donations and artist participation, and there will be a live jazz saxophone creating the music for the evening, creating the vibe. And so this is an opportunity to come together and celebrate one another and celebrate art and celebrate the artists in our larger community as well. So this isn't just us. So get the word out. This isn't just, our little group. No, Riverside Art Museum, RCAA, some of the businesses downtown have already signed on, and local artists in the community have already signed on to join and participate and make donations or contributions and donate their art, all so that we can celebrate in a big way, because it's been a long time since we've had a party, hasn't it? Yes. So we're going to celebrate on the 21st. So write that down, the 21st, Saturday the 21st. And that is in May as well. And then sacred service. How can we be in sacred service? So there's a couple ways that are happening right now. At Christmas time, we supported Sylvia's Serenity Homes. Remember the home with the mothers and children escaping domestic violence? Yes, so we supported them, and we wrapped toys, and we were Santa Claus, and we took everything to Sylvia's, and they had this wonderful Christmas celebration. Well, next month is Easter. And so we are partnering with Sylvia's Serenity Homes again, and we are providing them with we are helping support them with the Easter baskets and toys. So what we're asking of all of you is next week and the week after, bring in your Easter candy, bring in small little toys. We've got 14 children right now from ages 0 to 12 that we are going to be the bunny for. So we're being the bunny, right? We're being the bunny for them. So that's a lot of fun. So there is a basket out in the lobby. You'll see the basket out there to bring toys and candy and bubbles and whatever, so that we can fill their baskets to overflowing. And then we are also supporting them in their Easter dinner celebration. And what they've decided they want to do this year is they would like to go to the park, and they would like to have a barbecue, hot dogs and hamburgers and that type of thing, because there's a lot of kids. So hot dogs and hamburgers, and they're going to do their Easter egg hunt in the park as well. So another way you can support this effort and support Sylvia's Serenity Homes and these wonderful young people and their mothers is you can use text to give at the same number that we always do, 951-419-5858. Type in the amount you're choosing to contribute, and then follow it with the word Easter. And then all of those monies will then be used. Trisha and a couple of bunny helpers are going to go to Costco and purchase all of the goods for them to be able to have their their Easter dinner. So we invite you to participate that way too. So be the bunny. Okay? Be the bunny. And then out in the lobby, you'll also see a box. We are community partners with Inland Congregations United for Change. And their youth organizer, their youth initiative, is collecting canned foods and non-perishable foods now through April 15th. So there's a box out in the lobby, so you can bring in canned goods, non-perishable goods. Please don't bring in expired stuff. Check the expiration date before you bring it in. If you wouldn't eat expired food, don't expect somebody else to either. Just throw that stuff out, right? But bring in canned goods and that. And there are also flyers out there. They look like this. If you know somebody who may be experiencing food insecurity or who may need a little extra assistance, there's a QR code down here at the bottom that you can scan, and you can fill out the form so that, or they can fill out the form so that they can receive the food as well. So that is happening now through the 15th. How's that feel? Right? Look at us being in community together. Thank you, Chester. It feels warm and fuzzy. Right? How fun it is, because when we share this love, when we share this joy, what happens? It multiplies, right? It multiplies. It overflows. So I want to take just a few minutes here, and I'd love to hear us share some joy here. I'm going to come down front here in a moment with a microphone. I'm just going to invite you to come forward and turn and share some joys. Because what happens when we're in community together, when we share our joy, what happens? Our joy multiplies. Our joy absolutely multiplies. It's because like, wow, that happened for you. Wow, that's so cool. And I get to celebrate you, and we get to feel that joy, and we get to feel that love together. Yesterday at Drag Brunch was really fun. And so your folks online, hi. Our beloveds online, go ahead and start populating in the chat there, in the comments, things that bring you joy, things that have brought you joy this week or recently, and just pop them in there. Things to celebrate. It doesn't have to be a huge celebration, because yesterday at Drag Brunch, kind of like in the middle of the show, they were, the hostess, she wanted to like celebrate. Like, okay, who's celebrating anything? And everybody was just kind of quiet. It was like, who's celebrating a birthday? And it's like, quiet. Who's celebrating an anniversary? Quiet. And then she's like, okay, come on, y'all. There's got to have some kind of celebration out here. I don't care what you're celebrating. Celebrate, that you painted your nails. That doesn't matter. What are you celebrating, right? And so one of the women stood up, or she raised her hand, and she's like, I'm recently free. I recently got a divorce. And she was like, come on up. Let's celebrate. Yay. All right. Who else? And I was like, well, we bought a new house. That's something to celebrate. Come on up. Let's celebrate that. Another woman was like, well, my sister is here visiting from out of town. Yay, let's celebrate it. Come on up. All right? And then they all did shots. So we're not doing shots. I'm sorry, that's an after party function for you, but we're not doing shots. But it was so beautiful, and it was something that was like, what was so impressive, what I so loved about that moment was that it was a celebration of the everyday moments in life. People were suddenly recognizing, it was like, oh, wait, I got something, right? My sister's visiting, what have you. So a lot of fun that way. So I want to hear from you so that we can celebrate more joys and we can expand our joys here. I'm going to come right down here and come on forward, and let's hear some of the joys that you have experienced recently. Don't be shy. All right, come here, Cindy. Come celebrate some of the joys.
You holding it, or am I holding it?
I'll hold
let
it.
You hold it. Okay. My two best girlfriends from elementary school through high school got in contact with me on Facebook, and we had lunch together, and first time I've seen them in 50 years.
Woohoo! Celebrate that, yes. Come on up, Jeannie.
Mike doesn't make sushi very often, but he made vegan sushi last night.
Woohoo! Francis, come on up.
Thank you. As some of you know, my son had a brain injury resulting from an accident, and he was in a coma for 2 weeks. This has happened in October, so we've been running back and forth to LA trying to see about him. The other night, he cooked dinner.
Woo-hoo! Awesome. Celebrate that joy. Allison, come on over.
I'm going on my first vacation in 3 years next month.
Woohoo! Shawnee.
I've attended 2 children's birthday parties, and if that isn't just pure bliss and joy, I don't know what is. So.
Fabulous. And there was the taco truck and piñatas involved. All right, tomorrow.
Well, I'm very blessed because I have a beautiful granddaughter. Yay! But even more important is my old cat is not very affectionate, right? I mean, I get 1, 2, okay, that's what I get out of him. My new cat is so affectionate and so sweet. She follows me all over the house, sleeps with me. Yeah, if I'm there, she's there. So I'm blessed for this sweet, loving cat, and I'm blessed for Ernie, the cranky one, who's named after Ernest Holmes. Yeah. No relation.
I don't know if Ernie was cranky or not. Frank, come on over.
Just so you all know, I'm Frank, right? I don't want everybody running up to me all at one time. We have, I'm celebrating having lunch with our beautiful grandkids in Granada Hills on Thursday. But this hasn't been approved. I'll let Reb look at it. Good. But we're going to do a flyer and kind of a sign-up sheet all at one time. So we need to know how many people are coming. The things it's going to be asking you is if you're coming and you're bringing your cat and your dog, and well, we don't have dog and cat food, but we will have vegan food and we will have hamburgers and hot dogs, okay? And there's information here you can tell us. You can bring a salad, or if you can't do that, you can donate. Thank you very much.
All right, and that's the picnic. Annie.
Okay, I got a beach waiver, and for any of you that don't know what that is, it's a very fancy curling iron, and so now I get to have my hair in beautiful curls. Sorry I didn't curl it for church today.
Fantastic.
The granddaughter we raised, who is 37 and has never had children, is pregnant with twins, a girl and a boy.
Fantastic. Congratulations. Michelle and Joey.
I'm just celebrating in advance because my autobiography is this close to publication.
All right. Congratulations, Michelle. Eddie.
We went to Knott's Berry Farm on Friday. It was his, I don't know how many times it was for him, but he grew up going there. But my first time and most joyful moment was riding the log flume. We waited it out the whole day because all day long the wait time was like 180 minutes or something like that.
3 hours.
So finally, at 9 o'clock at night, we were able to get in. When it was cooler, and I was in the front, and he was in the back. And as soon as we hit the water, came down that last hill. So I got soaking wet, and he was in the back. Yeah, I got a little splash, but he was dry. But he was howling like a little kid and all excited and laughing. And I was cold.
And Deb.
Hi, I'm new here. I'm Deb. This is my second time. And I liked you guys. All of you were wonderful last week. First time I've been to a church that was so welcoming and warm, and I'm back.
Wonderful. Great to have you back with us. Yay, Deb. Thank you. See how easy that is? Sharing the joy. So let me come back over here. Let's see what we have up here. Because we have our online community as well. So just double checking here. All right, there we go. Tony, gaining honors in advanced education, accomplishing educational goals, entering theological education. Yay, Tony, right on. Greg, drag brunch, dinner with siblings, wonderful week. Let's see here. Wayne and Casey moving to a new house. Earl and Denise celebrating a dark sky at Arches National Park in Utah and seeing the country, seeing the beautiful country while RVing. Dinah and Stu celebrating finishing renovating projects in the upstairs bathroom at the farm. Corey celebrating the baby cauliflower that's growing in my garden. See, yes, it doesn't have to be something big. Baby cauliflower, that's awesome. Great for you, Corey. Right on. Let's see here. And then there was the first campfire at Camp Cedar Ridge last night. Very exciting. Right on, Casey. Camp Cedar Ridge is the youth camp, or it's the camp that we have purchased, that Centers for Spiritual Living has purchased. And so that is in Oregon, so right on. Dorcel, enjoying friends and everyone's life, wonderful. And Ray says, I love my wonderful husband, awesome. So there you go. So celebrating the joy, isn't that wonderful? So beloveds, this week, your transformation tool for the week is nice and simple. Make a play date. Make a play date with a friend, with several friends. Just make a play date and then go out and have fun and enjoy it and be in the moment with them. It's a simple transformation tool, but go out and share the joy. And so it is. All right. All right, I invite our practitioners and our core council to please stand and surround the sanctuary as we move into a time of affirmative prayer. Making sure this is muted. Or better yet, let's just turn it off. There we go. Oh, one more celebration. Oh, yes. Greg says, yes, he found this out on his birthday the other day. Greg shares, celebrating my son's new baby on the way. Greg found out he was going to be a grandfather for the 4th time in 4 years on his birthday, which was Thursday. So, and happy birthday as well, Greg. All right, so let's just come together and let's just celebrate, recognizing that there just is one life, one power, one presence, one infinite, eternal joy, bliss, harmony, that is forever expressing itself, that brought forth all of creation from within itself. So therefore, I know that all of life, all of creation is a divine emanation, impartation of this one life of joy, of love, of harmony, of peace, of balance, of celebration, of life itself. And as I know that this is true of me, and I know that this is true of all of creation, I know that this is true of everyone present here this day, everyone present within the sound of my voice, everyone present everywhere, always and forever. And so I speak my word for this beloved community, a word of celebration, a word of community, of coming together, of connecting with one another, of celebrating one another, of celebrating our joys. And as we celebrate our joys, we recognize that it expands fuller and it causes a wave like an ocean to overflow from beyond these walls, from this beyond this community out into the larger community and encompasses the globe. And so I know that this joy, this love, this peace finds its way to those experiencing anything unlike it in this moment. I know that this joy, this peace, this love is a solace and a comfort and a balm where conflict may exist. I know that it exists within each human life, within all of life. And so I call it forward from all people everywhere. I call it forth in the hearts and the minds of leaders, in the hearts and minds of those in military conflict, in the hearts and minds and the very lives of those affected by tragedy. I call it forth and recognize that it is right there present. And so in this recognition of this oneness with life, I know that all unfolds under grace and in absolute perfect ways because there could be no other way for it to unfold. I call forth joy now. I call forth love now. I call forth harmony now. I call forth peace now. I demand to see it now. I demand to see the good now. Because this is the present moment. And the present moment is love, is joy, is peace. And this is true everywhere. It's true right where we are. And so I give thanks for this divine unfoldment. I give thanks for the beauty. I give thanks for the joy. I give thanks for the community and the connection. And I simply allow this to be, releasing this into law, knowing it is already done, it is already complete. I let it be, and together we affirm, and so it is.
Love.